Welcome in to another week of Yellow Jacket Football. I'm Kate Crenshaw, joined alongside Allen head football coach Teddy Keaton. Coach, 5-1 on the season now. Congrats on the victory, 35-27 over Clark Atlanta this past Saturday. Coach, 5 wins in year 5. That's the most in a single season since you helped restart this program back in 2018. First off, what does that milestone mean to you hitting that here in year 5?
It's a tremendous opportunity for the university. It's a tremendous opportunity for the kids. It's a tremendous opportunity for us to keep building on what we're building on. I told the kids when we got here, we didn't come here just to play. We came here to win. And the first motto I ever came up was expect to win. So that's what we're doing. So every year I think we've gotten better. Other than last year when we won 1-9, but we played really good football. We just couldn't close out a game. So my expectations are still where they at. We went from 2, 3, then 4 wins, and then we had 1 win, and then now we have 5. So I think every year we've gotten better and better, and we're doing that, and that's what I continue. That's how you want to see your team do.
An 8-point victory on Saturday over Clark Atlanta. Coach, when you look back at that game, back and forth early on before you guys pulled away late in the second half, what were some of your biggest takeaways?
Well, let me say this. Clark is a extremely I call them the wounded deer team. You gotta put your horns in those guys, and that's something we haven't figured out how to do yet. That game is traditionally has been. They were one of the first teams we played in the SIAC rival. We were 1-3 against those guys. We won one year. That was the year we went 4-5. And every other game has been pretty, a dogfight for us. So we wanted to get out ahead of it, and I think it's starting to formulate into a little bit of a rival that when they come to town, they want to play football against us. We want to play football against them, and I just think that they came in with a boost of energy. They had a coaching change at the top, and I think Coach Moncrief, my hat goes off to him. He did a good job of trying to scheme us and get us there. And my hat goes off to my kids. I'm extremely proud of how they played. They fought back. They played with a lot of energy. Even though the adversity a lot of adversity we create for ourselves, and they still overcame the minor mistakes. We had 15 drop balls in that game.
Taking a look at the defense first, Coach, Rod Simmons with an interception, Daquan Brown with a fumble recovery. Those are 2 leaders, 2 senior veterans on the defensive side of the football. You bring in Simmons, a transfer from Johnson C. Smith, and you bring back Daquan Brown after he spent a year at Albany State. Prior to that, he was at Allen for 3 seasons. What did it mean to bring those 2 into your program in the offseason? What have they meant to you so far this season?
Well, we knew we had to grow up at that safety spot. So it was a horrible position for us last year, and both of them have created value for themselves back there, and I think they did a great job of being the leadership part is more than anything. They played enough college football that they understand what's going on around them, and they can help guide some of the younger players through their opportunities that they present for themselves.
We turn our attention to the offense, and Bo Harrington, a tremendous day on the ground, 155 on the ground, at another 40 in the air, close to 200 total yards of offense on Saturday for Bo. This is a player who's gradually improved as the season has gone on. Do you see the same from a coaching development standpoint?
Yes, we challenged Bo last week. We got to take pressure off David Wright, and we got to be able to run the ball better. So the O-line and the D-line, the O-line in the running back room has been challenged that we got to do a better job of getting better yardage and helping making the offense become balanced. When we played Fort Valley, we saw how they kind of got into a nickel defense against us and didn't allow us the opportunity to be able to do what we do with David Wright. So teams are figuring that if we're going to lose, we're not going to let David Wright be the one to beat us. So we told the other guys they got to step up and be able to create, make them come down and respect our run game and not necessarily just sit back here and play umbrella defense to make David throw in the triple and double coverages.
For David Wright on Saturday, his 6th straight game with over 300 passing yards to start the season. Coach, he says he still hasn't played his best football yet. What can that ceiling look like?
That ceiling could look well if he just managed the games a little bit better. David wants to create plays. He wants to be a playmaker. He wants to find ways to get things happening. A lot of times I think some of his decision making is not all the way there the way we want it to be. He's still playing like a young quarterback. But I think over the time and as he sees his mistakes as he make them, I think he'll get better at making better decisions and choices with where he go with the football.
A top name in the passing game so far this year on the receiving end has been the play of Deyandre Ruffin. You bring him back, a player with an extra year of eligibility, so he's a senior leader among that wide receiver room, and he had another 100-yard game on Saturday. It's been a breakout season for Deyandre. He's 2nd in the SIAC in total receiving yards and has 20 fewer catches than the number one guy in the conference. How close it is. Big play Dre. He's been the explosive receiver your team has needed this season. What's allowed him to transition so well to be that wide receiver one name and elevate to his level of play to something we hadn't seen the previous 4 years?
I think he just didn't have the opportunities. I think Dre's always had potential. Dre was a quarterback when he came here, but Dre came in, he's worked at it, he's put in the work. I was so happy that he decided to come back, but I know why he came back, because he hadn't had a year that he wanted to have, and I'm just so happy for him that he's able to get what he worked for and what he wanted out of this season, and it's showing up on the field that he has big play potential. He has all the right tools. He's a 6'2", about 220. I mean, can you imagine him in blazing speed? So he's a lot faster than most people give him credit for. So he filled the shoes of us losing Jayden, and I think we didn't throw the ball to him enough last year, and this year we're trying to get him touches and doing things to create value for himself.
Deyandre Ruffin is our player of the week, and we'll catch up with him right after this.
There's a hidden gem in downtown Columbia, South Carolina. Are you ready to witness the epitome of grit and passion? Well, welcome to Allen University Athletics. From dazzling plays on the basketball court to the electrifying crowd, we've got tradition and we've got pageantry. Fueled by determination and unwavering spirit, coaches will push everyone's limits, game after game. At Allen University, we believe in the power of unity, teamwork, and resilience. Together, we rise. Be a part of the legacy and experience the thrill of Allen University Athletics. For more information, visit our athletics website at auyellowjackets.com.
Welcome back into Yellow Jacket Football. I'm Cade Crenshaw, joined alongside this week's Player of the Week Spotlight and wide receiver Deyandre Ruffin. Deyandre, thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Appreciate you for having me.
6 games into your super senior season, if you will, you're back and you're leading the team in receiving yards and second overall in the SIAC. How do you feel like the season's gone so far?
I think it's going pretty good so far. We still haven't played our best football yet, and we're still working on it. You know, we're trying to focus in and take 1 week at a time and get better at each and every day.
Well, Deyandre, this season so far, you've had a strong super senior campaign. You lead the team in receiving yards. You're second in the SIAC overall. When you look back to the first 6 weeks of the season, you have 4 games with at least 85 receiving yards. What's working so well here in 2023?
I think it's the focus, the competition level at practice get us better, and we're not really looking at the stats. We want to go out there and win. The stats are going to come as you win, so that's what we're doing right now.
You are one of those unique players who played through the 2020 season and had that extra year of eligibility that you could work with. Why did you decide to use it and come back to Allen?
Because I believe in the process. I've been here since the startup, a year after the startup. So I've seen all the groundwork, and right now we're just watering that seed.
You talk to recruits now before games, and you ask them the question, why are you interested in Allen? They're like, well, obviously the offense ranks very highly. The win total has grown from year to year. There are reasons to come to Allen, but when you signed on board, there were more reasons not to. Let's be honest. It was a startup program. There was nothing proven. It was the foundation. You were the one who had to build the house. Why decide Allen back when you did in 2019?
I believe in what Teddy Keaton had told me. He told us that this is going to be a powerhouse institution one day, and I believe that.
So far on the season, Allen is 5-1. How is the morale so far right now in the locker room? 5 wins for the first time in a season so far. It's the best start in program history, and since 1965, the most wins in a single season. What's the morale in the locker room right now? Take us inside the huddle.
We're still just trying to focus on going 1-0. So we can't get complacent, and we can't get a big head. We got to go out each and every day to get better. Have high competition level in practice, and on Saturdays it's just show from practice.
Every player's different. Some it's music, some it's talking to family. What's the pregame routine like for you on Saturdays?
I think it's both. Talking to family, getting that encouragement from family, motivation from them, and then also listening to some music.
When we dive into the playlist, what are some of those top songs on it for you?
My favorite artist is NBA Youngboy. Listen to a little bit of J. Cole, inspirational. Listen to a little bit of gospel. Got some country in there, so whole lot.
This country music is a theme that keeps popping up. Coach Keaton says he's a big country fan too. What about country music? Like, do you like the old country? Do you like the new country? What's in the playlist?
I kind of like a little bit of everything.
Okay.
That ain't my top genre, but I dabble into it.
Final one for you, Deyandre. When life after football arrives, when you hang up the helmet and the cleats for the final time, what do you want the rest of your life to look like?
I just want to max out my potential. Anything that the Lord guides me to, I just want to be able to be able to be that leader and encourage the next person.
For those who may be checking out Allen for the first time, why AU?
Why not?
Easy enough. He's Deyandre Ruffin. I am Kay Crenshaw. We'll be back for more here on Yellow Jacket Football. Back here with Coach Keaton, we turn our attention ahead. Week 7 of the season is already here. Coach, before we preview Albany State, does it feel like the year is just flying by here in the fall?
There's no doubt about it. I mean, I look up and we done played 6 ball games, and I mean, the weeks are so fast now, we don't even know what day of the week it is. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, what day is it? That's the kind of day, that's how time flying with us right now.
Albany State coming up this Saturday on the road down in Albany, Georgia, a 4-2 program that's won 4 straight games. Coach, especially coming off of a big 48-0 victory over Central State this past Saturday. When you look at Albany State on film here in 2023, what makes them such a dangerous ball club?
I mean, first you got to go about the history of Albany State. They're a traditional powerhouse. They're one of the 2 top teams in this conference, always have been, always will be. It poses another challenge for us. The word for the week is movement and progress. We're making movement, but have we made progress? Our progress is to go in and, it's first of all difficult to go play a top team in the country. The second thing is that you got to play them at their house. The third thing is they live off tradition and value. We're trying to create that value for ourselves. So here's another opportunity. We presented ourselves with one when we played Fort Valley, and we didn't do so well with another powerhouse team in this conference. So we're trying to create value with these teams that we go in, be able to work for ourselves and do things well. Albany State's a really good football team in a lot of areas. They have a lot of great players. They're coached by Quinn Gray. He's doing a tremendous job with that. I think that we got to come in and we got to play our best game, and we have to eliminate the mistakes and the adversity that we create for ourselves. Last week we had 15 drop balls. We got to do a better job in that. Missed tackling opportunities. Our special teams woes, we got to field punts and keep field positioning where we wanted to be. In the last 3 games, it take us almost to the second quarter to score a point, which is things we got to do better to be able to beat a team of that caliber.
This Saturday will just be your second road trip of the season in Week 7. What are some of the things that, as a coaching staff, you have to do a little bit differently when you're on them versus when you're at home? You can be a little more settled versus the travel aspect.
I actually like the travel. I think you can get your team. It's a time for bonding. They get to go on the road with each other. They talk on the bus. They have to communicate with each other. And I think you can keep them in a controlled environment when you travel. I think the only thing about it is when the travel is so long, that's when it really gets to be a bothersome. But this is only a 5-hour trip down to Albany State, quick little trip, turn around, come back and do our thing. Mostly we try to keep them focused. We keep most of their time busy. We have meetings, we have practice, we have other, prayer breakfast. We get up and do walkthroughs. We do a lot of things to keep them. We get more football done on the road than you do at home.
It's Week 7 of the season, Coach. Everyone at this point in the college football season is dealing with some type of injuries somewhere. What's the latest on the health report?
I think we're pretty healthy. We got a lot of soft tissue issues. I mean, of course, when you play 10 straight games, I mean, you're gonna, it's gonna be a factor at some point in time. But we do a pretty good job of taking care of our team and trying to keep them healthy. As far as I know, we're doing pretty good. Jamal was back. We was happy to have him back on the field.
Some of our viewers have asked, why no bye week this season?
Well, that is a league thing, and they set the schedule the way they set the schedule. But I'm sure when we get back in the off season and we start meeting, I'm sure a lot of the coaches are going to be humming and whistling about that. But it's nothing we can do about that at this moment.
Is that something you would like to see brought back?
Oh, no doubt. I think everybody need a week to be able to recover. Just get the kids' spirit back. When you play 6, 7 straight weeks in a row, I think sometimes the mindset is the part is mental. I call it Hunt for Red October. And the SEC, everybody in the world got to go through that hunt. And everybody think the game is more physical, but a lot of it's a mental grind. And then, you're in the middle of midterm weeks, the school aspect of it, just trying to get through film, weights, practice, film, weights, practice. Football is the only sport that you practice more than you play. So if you were in any other sport, they might practice 2 days a week and then they got a competition. They might practice 1 or 2 times a week and then they got competition. In football, you're going to practice 5 straight days, and on the 6th day, you got a game. And I think that becomes a grind for anybody. You get 1 day off, which is your Sunday, and then now you right back at that grind.
You only get 10 chances in the fall on Saturdays. Allen, so far through 6 of them, is 5-1. He's Teddy Keaton. I'm Kay Crenshaw. The Yellow Jackets hit the road this Saturday to take on Albany State. That'll do it for us on this week's edition. We'll see you right back here next time on Yellow Jacket Football.